Alright everybody, raise your hand if what you ate this morning consisted of something like cereal, coffee, or toast. Now keep your hand raised if you can pinpoint a moment today where you felt either anxious or unfocused. Now, what if I told you that what you ate this morning wasn't just fueling you, but fueling trillions of bacteria in your gut that can affect things like your emotions, your anxiety levels, and your social behavior? So, you may have heard the term gut feeling before. Well, gut feeling can refer to butterflies in our stomachs, uneasy feeling during stress, but what if that metaphor is not just a metaphor, it actually refers to the connection between our gut and our brain. Now, as someone who's obsessed with nutrition and what I eat, I've done plenty of research on nutrition and neuroscience and have found the incredible discovery that what I'm eating is not just affecting my digestion, but also affecting how my brain is communicating to my body. So, today I'm going to explain to you guys how exactly our gut is that emotional control center, what foods can influence our behavior positively or negatively, and how improving our gut health can completely transform your social interactions and your confidence. So, how exactly is our gut an emotional control center? So, you may know that our gut is filled with things like bacteria, fungi, and viruses. But did you know that our gut has over 500 million neurons, which is more than the amount of neurons in our spinal cord? Another interesting thing about our gut is that 90% of our body's serotonin is produced in our gut. Now, serotonin is that neurotransmitter that is directly responsible for our mood and our happiness, which shows how impactful our happiness is on what's in our gut. So this is why scientists often refers to our gut as our second brain. So how is our gut and our brain connected? They're connected by something called the vagus nerve. Now think of the vagus nerve as a direct communication highway. It communicates signals throughout the entire day to our brain and also back down to our gut and has influences on our mood, our behavior, and our stresses and anxiety. So when our gut can sense stress, or an imbalance or inflammation, it sends these distress signals up towards our brain. So when our gut is balanced, we see emotional signals that are stable, but when our gut is imbalanced by things like diet, antibiotics, or even stress, you see your emotional regulation start to falter. So mood swings may not be because of mental things, but also things starting in your gut. So now that we understand exactly how our gut and our brain are connected to each other, I want to talk about how foods can impact what's going on in our gut. So, how is our gut triggering anxiety and mood swings? Well, we know foods like processed foods, things like cereal, chips, and pastries, they release dopamine. Dopamine is linked to pleasure and reward. It's that feel-good neurotransmitter that makes the processed foods highly addictive. Now, on this bottom row, you see all the harmful bacteria in our gut. When you're eating processed foods, you're directly fueling all these harmful bacteria. And over time, scientists say that this can lead to severe effects like anxiety and even depression, and also gut inflammation. Now, certain foods can boost all these beneficial good bacteria seen on this top row. These foods include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, or kimchi, or fiber-rich foods like oats, bananas, and greens. These foods create natural compounds in our bodies that create calming signals to our brain. Now, these natural compounds not only calm us, but they strengthen the lining in our gut bacteria, and also they can signal relaxation, lower our stress levels, and even improve your sleep. So when we're not eating enough of these foods, you're starving these bacteria and not creating the necessary effects on our body. Now, everyday habits like caffeine can also imbalance your gut. Things like caffeine can give us short-term alertness and energy, but too much caffeine can overstimulate all the bacteria in your gut, increasing your cortisol levels. Cortisol is directly linked to your stress. So when your cortisol is really high, your brain becomes distressed, and then you start to feel much more anxious and tense. So once you're able to balance out the inside of your gut, that's when you start to see your outer world start to transform and change. Restoration of your gut health can impact your social interactions and improve your confidence overall. So research shows directly how gut can change your behavior. A really interesting study I found took mice that were personalities with social and outgoing personalities, and took mice that were more shy and withdrawn, and directly transferred the gut bacteria from the social mice to the shy mice. Within days, the shy mice were interacting confidently with others and exploring more, adopting the exact personality traits of the very outgoing mice. This shows the only change was the gut bacteria, which shows how impactful the gut bacteria really is on your mental health and your personality. And a healthy gut microbiome boosts the production of neurotransmitters in your body that ease social interactions. So we talked about serotonin. When your gut is balanced, your serotonin and your oxytocin is higher. Those are linked to trust and emotional warmth. So when you're having higher production of these things, you're allowing for a smooth flow of all those signals from your gut to your brain through your vagus nerve. You feel more connected overall and more empathetic and socially confident and less withdrawn. So now I hope you know how what you eat feeds your body as well as your feelings. We talked about today how our gut can communicate directly through nerve chemical networks through your brain, and how the food you eat shapes your gut ecosystem and your emotions, and how restoring your gut can actually enhance your mood as well as make you more confident while reducing anxiety. Your gut truly is that emotional control center and that second brain that can guide you through your thoughts and feelings. So whether it's your morning toast, your midday latte, or that late night snack, every bite can influence more than just how you digest food. It can influence you as a person. Thank you.